Good morning! Welcome to ScreenJunkies Universe. We are going to have a great show today, people, because it's all resting right here on Mr. Joe Starr.
Hooray.
See us through! I'm kidding. You know who I have?
Video ended at...
Oh, that's not going to be the comment. The comment's going to be, what a great show. What a great panel, because we had Danielle Radford.
Wow, what's happening?
Danielle Radford.
Wow, I fell for you so bad there. Joe, I might not have been on your team a minute ago, but I'm back. That was so painful. Oh, wow.
It's okay. There's a lot going on when you're in this seat. A lot going on.
Lot to manage. We have Danielle Radford here. Roxy Striar is here. They're here to deliver the goods in terms of brilliance and humor and insight to the news of the day. And we have plenty of it because not only is there a new Ant-Man trailer, but the first reactions to Black Panther are out there. And guess who saw it last night?
These girls.
We're going to get to that. But first, let's talk about that Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer. Roxy had a very pressing question that she wanted to ask the panel, and
We're going to lead with it.
It's only,
lead with that.
It's only an impressive question because of what I'm about to do.
We don't know what the question is.
Okay. Do you remember what song I'm singing? Do 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 do.
No.
Like something like out to tantalize. No?
It's a haunted mansion.
Haunted Mansion. That's it. Okay, I couldn't think of what it was. It was in my head. I tried to Google it, but I had the wrong words. That is the soundtrack of this film. You have to listen to it. That's literally what they do. It's like do 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 do, and I feel like it's an underlying message.
I mean, they're all Disney properties.
That was my question, I guess. But
well,
you guys
I mean,
don't
the
agree.
villain's name is Ghost.
Okay.
Wait, if you guys listen back, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's literally the first like 4 notes.
We legitimately cannot do that live because we will this video will get pulled.
Fine.
But we will listen to that later. So do you think it's like a subliminal message about the film?
Yes, I'm like pretty positive.
That it's like a big joyful
I mean, Marvel's been using Disney songs, so
Ghosty
you
amusement.
might be right, and it is the Haunted Mansion music.
Well, I'm just glad that Billy knew what it was because all day.
Can we get a single? Roxy doesn't have a GIF on the internet yet.
Yeah, what?
Can we get a
what's up?
single of Roxy doing the Haunted Mansion
I don't
music?
understand
Do
the
it. Do
gift
it.
things though. People keep making
Roxy,
the
this
gifts,
is
but
your
then they
chance.
go away.
Roxy, this is your chance. Do it. All right, somebody GIF it.
That's a
We're
gift.
gonna give that.
Yeah.
Did you like
A
the
gift of a
trailer
gift.
other than the fact that the Haunted Mansion?
Yes. I got to watch it a couple of times, and every time I watched back, it was like, oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, I didn't notice that. And it was like fun, and cars were flipping and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flipping cars.
I was the same way. First time I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, a car chase, a car flipped. And then the second time I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, the car flipped because there was a little baby car underneath it and it turned into a full-size car. I think this looks like a lot of fun. It seems like they're going to continue with like the silly heist feel. And even the title treatment feels like, sort of a ridiculous, like over-the-top 60s thing. Like it almost feels like an Adam West Batman title treatment, which I'm super into. And the first one's a fun movie. I like the first Ant-Man, so this should be good.
Yeah, and it's also, we're continuing to deal with this thing that the MCU is real big on of like, oh, hi, actions have consequences. So like, when you go off to go help your new friends, it turns out that might be bad for your old friends. So we got to deal with some of that. I really liked, obviously, all of the really fun physics things they're doing, like that shot with the building was amazing. That popped me. Yeah.
But
That
at
was
that
great.
point,
Put
you
it in
have
my
to
pocket.
wonder what the limitations of this power are. I was wondering that too in the car chase when it was like, I shrink you now, and now you're big. I think they're going to have a lot of fun playing with his specific powers.
But on Legends of Tomorrow, which doesn't seem relevant at this moment, but is about to be when I explain myself, when you have...
That is, by the way everyone describes that show.
Yes. When you have Adam, who is Ray Palmer, who is able to shrink things, we have seen that it like just the same with the Flash. Just because you can go really fast does not mean your powers start and stop there. You can also phase through things, and you can also shrinking things might come in handy in other kinds of ways that we just haven't even figured out about yet, like being small enough to go inside a body and fix a heart, or like
Inner space.
Inner space is the first thing that I thought of.
into space, all different things. And I think we probably haven't even thought of some of the things that they might be able to play with. So
Yeah. I think
like
that, I mean, we're already seeing them doing it here in the trailer. Peyton Reed, who is obviously the director of this film and directed the first Ant-Man, directed a movie that I think is really great and indicative of his tone as a director called Down with Love. Anybody ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a really fun.
is it
musical
Renee
pastiche.
Zellweger or something?
And Ewan
Yeah,
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. And it was
Down with Love.
Down with Love. And it's like this riff on like the pillow talk comedies of an era gone by. But it is, he also had been, I think, set or in talks to do a version of the Fantastic Four at a certain point, and that fell apart.
Good
He
for
would have
him
been
that
the
he didn't do
perfect
it.
guy.
Yes.
But he would have been the perfect guy to actually do the Fantastic Four correctly, given his tone and who he is as a director, you know?
Well, I don't know if the direction was quite the problem with the film.
No, but it wasn't that script. It wasn't the
Oh.
script that you're talking about. But instead of it, he would have had fun with them.
Well, he's
They
a
would
good
have been
throwbacky
these
guy,
like,
yeah.
good throwback guy. Like
That's
they would have
cool.
been these weird like superstar 60s psychedelic superhero family. And I'd still like to see that film, but instead we're getting Ant-Man and the Wasp, which also looks really fun.
Evangeline Lilly, yes, love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love. Okay, this trailer I feel like did a really good job highlighting her as smart, wicked smart. Like, hey, I'm not saying that I would have gone, but I forgot how good your Boston accent is. I should have given you that one. Sorry,
Smart,
Rob.
wicked smart.
I don't know about the Wasp, you guys.
I didn't know about the Wasp.
What's with
I
the
really like what
Wasp?
she's doing there. Was that her on that knife? Why did she get wings and a blaster? I don't know. Are we going to meet the Wasp's mother?
It's almost identical.
Michelle
to Mark
Pfeiffer wasn't in the
Wahlberg.
movie. Where's the mother of the Wasp?
If I close my eyes, I'm like,
Marky
Mark?
Mark.
Yeah.
That
Where's
was
the
a
funky
legitimate
bunch?
question.
We're the funky
Are we-
bunch.
Yes! Finally!
Finally, we have a name.
I did like that moment though, when she's just like, "You wouldn't have been caught," and it's like, "Yeah, that's right," because we pay attention to details.
Yeah.
Are we gonna meet Mom? What do you think?
We right?
We're gonna have to.
If we don't,
She's in the movie.
Yeah, it's Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Pfeiffer.
Gotta be
It's
Pfeiffer.
Gotta
Unless
be
she's
that
a red
Pfeiffer.
herring.
goes west.
Or unless it's
Fireball.
it's flashbacks.
Yeah, which I'm also fine with, I guess. I'm more excited about Walton Goggins being in this movie. Not actually, no, sorry. I'm equally as excited. Not even equal. I'm also excited because Michelle Pfeiffer being in a movie is really cool. and I don't
Additionally,
wanna
you are
overshadow her.
excited as
Yeah.
well.
But the addition of Walton Goggins, delightful. I like that guy.
It's interesting because we were talking earlier, and
She was
some
Catwoman.
She was Catwoman. That's true. She was
Walton
a great
Goggins?
Catwoman.
Wow,
Yeah.
impressive.
No, Michelle Pfeiffer was, you guys. Haven't you guys ever seen Batman movies?
What's a Batman?
It's like Captain America, I think.
Oh, gotcha.
Very, very similar.
Can't wait for the guy. Oh, also, guys, I just got the inner space pun like 2 years ago. I felt like I needed to tell you guys that.
Welcome back.
I just got it.
The inner space pun.
Inner space.
You just got it now or 2 years ago?
I just got it 2 years ago. And then I was like, I don't think a lot of people actually get that pun.
The inner space pun that you made.
No, it's in her space.
In her space.
space.
Inner space. Oh,
Another
I
level,
just
this
got
lady.
it right now. I just got it right now.
I knew.
Duh.
I was like, yeah, no,
So
I'm here.
I cop to when I don't know things, but that one I got.
No, didn't. Just brand new.
Really?
You know what
never
else?
played that acting game either? Where you go inner space, and then that like little kid in the corner would be like,
I do not
inner
remember
space.
this. You know what I do
What acting
remember
class
though?
were you in that there was a weird little kid
Growling's
in the corner?
cheese.
Billy Business does not like Ant-Man as a character. He thinks he's the most insignificant Marvel character to date. I don't know. I think that these are fun movies that take us on a little different journey. They're heisty. They're a little more simple. They're kind of more straight comedies in a way. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I don't need everything to be about the universe imploding on a infinity fart stone. I'm fine with someone stole a thing in San Francisco and we got to shrink a van to get it back. I'm fine with that every now and then.
But you know what? What if we did find the Infinity Fart Stone in Ant-Man? Wouldn't that be great?
That would be cool if you
We've
found the
been
fart
wondering.
stone. Yeah,
Where that stone was.
yeah.
Billy, I'm kind of surprised with you. Because I feel like you do hate a lot of great things. But this particular one, I feel like you would appreciate. Because it's kind of like, I don't mean this to put down the film. I really like it, but it's kind of stupid. Like some of the stuff is kind of like silly, and usually I feel like
So
you
I
could.
should like it because it's kind of stupid.
No, you're
Come on,
very
Billy, come on.
You're very smart, but like I feel like it's not trying so hard to be funny, and you hate when things are like trying so hard, like it's just stupid humor.
That's why
so
we
it's
don't
like,
get along.
why do you have that big of a problem with?
I mean, I did a whole movie fights about this back in the day. I just think Ant-Man is just so boring, and it's people
That's
are
why
like,
I'm surprised. He's so like fun and like silly.
Were you sitting or standing for that movie fight?
I mean, I was back when it was sitting, when it was
Oh.
real movie fights,
yeah.
Joe, and I was
Then it
the
counts.
third fighter. Back when it was real. No, here's the thing with Ant-Man that I really don't like is like everyone was like, oh, it's like a cool heist movie, but it's like a Marvel movie, and I feel like they totally chickened out on the heist part of it and just went straight superhero. And it was like a Dollar Tree Iron Man. Like if I told you the log line of Ant-Man and Iron Man, you wouldn't be able to tell what's the difference.
Did you much prefer Deadpool?
Deadpool's fine. I don't love it or hate it.
Really?
I was really entertained when
Thought
I
I
watched
knew
it,
you.
and I've never seen it since I saw it in the theater, but I liked it when I watched it.
That's how I felt with Guardians 2.
Okay.
Guardians also, or Guardians 2?
Guardians 2.
The
Yeah.
number 2.
Guardians 2 also.
As in 2 fighters, not 3 fighters that are standing, not sitting, as I'm standing now.
Today I've done finger guns and two things I've never done. Like
I like a lot of the
that.
gesture work you've been doing.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
been
you
good.
so
You've been
much.
really.
It's those acting classes.
It's like the physical.
That's
You're
my
working
name
with the
in sign
physical.
language. ROXY.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you so much. I was in the Miracle Worker.
Oh.
I really was. We all had
Is that where you're in the acting class with the creepy little kid in the corner going?
maybe.
I wanna know more about that
fine,
kid.
You got me.
We're all gonna name our worst off Broadway experiences at the end of this show. Right now, what we're going to talk about is another Marvel character that utilizes, I think, really well his particular abilities, and we have seen that in trailers. But also, one of the very first screenings, I don't know if they screened it before, of Black Panther, as well as the premiere was last night. They released the Twitter embargo on all of us at 10 p.m. saying, "Unleash unto the world your thoughts on this film," which we will talk about in brief because the actual review embargo is a little bit later, which we will have in full. But let's talk about what people are saying. Tessa Thompson said, "Black Panther, my goodness, all hang King Coogler."
All hail.
Hang.
That's so close.
All hail King Coogler.
No, his reign just
That
started.
was
He's
our
very
vote.
popular.
Yes. Black Panther, my goodness, all hail King Coogler. Kumail Nanjiani said, "Black Panther, so very good. I cheered and laughed and pumped my fist. I've never seen a superhero movie like it. Everybody involved with it deserves a medal and a big high five."
Did you guys see them there?
No, we're just going to get through these.
Sorry.
Jill Scott said, "Black Panther surpassed Star Wars with gratitude, awe, respect, and invigoration." Rebecca Theodore Vachon said, "The representation of Black women in Black Panther made me feel seen in a way other superhero movies have not done well. Shuri, played by Letitia Wright, is absolutely delightful." Agreed. I love that Shuri is also at ease with her brilliance and genius, and her scenes with T'Challa are so funny. I'm going to go back and read Tessa Thompson again because I screwed it up so badly the first time. I think it deserves like a fourth time. Tessa Thompson, Black Panther, my goodness, all hail King Coogler. Nailed it. Natasha Alford said, "If you don't understand the power of representation, imagine growing up never seeing a superhero who looks like you. When American Girl dolls came out, and I always picked Addie, who had to escape slavery, but now kids have Black Panthers, Nakia, Shuri, and Okoye. Thank you. Dope on many levels." Jacqueline Coley, who is with us with quite a little bit, said, "Ryan Coogler had something to say, y'all. So Black Panther is a Marvel movie with a message. The revolution will not be televised, but this flick is straight up revolutionary. Denai and Letitia steal every scene they're in. I'm crying nerd tears because I'm happy." Danielle Radford, who's sitting right beside me,
I know her.
said, "I tried really hard to keep my expectations low, but Black Panther was every bit as good as I hoped it would be."
Technically, I said Black Panther every bit as. Roll with that.
was.
It's good. I'm keeping it.
When are we going to get an edit button? Roth Cornet, that's me, said,
know
"Black
her too."
Panther is everything we all wanted it to be, a smart, emotional, well-told story, and just that's fucking beautiful. Black Panther is a Marvel movie that is just that, with visceral fight action sequences, but it also functions on multiple levels. There's rich performances and a good story, real characters with complicated relationships, and really effing relevant challengers. So we're going to end with Ava DuVernay's tweet in a minute, but we also have a fan question that ties into that tweet. So I'll open it up to the panel about, hey, Danielle, we can't say too much, but outside of what you just said in that tweet, just quick reaction.
Yeah, it was really good. I really was like, I didn't want to go in and setting the bar high. I was like, I want to go in fresh. I want to go in like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. And maybe that'll just be a sad thing. I've had that happen with movies I was excited for before, and it exceeded my expectations. Great world building for this, obviously, like, we haven't been to Wakanda, so you feel like you are there. Yeah, it's just great relationships, character-driven superhero movie. I guess that's about all I can say about it, but it was great.
Yeah, this also has, they talk about the Marvel villain problem. They will not be talking about this with this movie at all. I gotta say, if one person did steal the show, and no one did, this is
Everyone
a really
had
well
great
balanced, and it's a really great cast filled with very strong performances, exemplary performances. Everyone's very committed to this world. But Michael B. Jordan, I will say this villain is showing them how to do it right, which is that you don't really even walk out of there necessarily. He's thinking of him in that way. He'll make you cry, and that's quite an achievement. Are you more or less looking forward to this film?
I'm really looking forward to it now that I've heard a little bit more about it. My thing has been I've just started to feel like the sort of Marvel machine, if you will, was starting to kind of go, okay, we found our groove and let's stick to it. Second Guardians definitely felt that way to me. Doctor Strange felt that way to me. But so it seems like they're continuing the trend they started with Thor Ragnarok, where they're trying to really shake things up and give things a different feel. So that's cool.
Do you think, here's my fear, is that we're overhyping it. What do you think?
No, I mean, these reactions sound very similar to that of Wonder Woman to me. Great direction, great world building, wonderful characters, representation that I've never felt before on screen. And that movie couldn't have been hyped enough for me. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if I love this movie the way that I loved that movie, then the reactions are totally fine. But then again, the reactions for Logan were like through the roof, and I think that really screwed up my viewing experience. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think I used to, before I started working here and had to start seeing things like right as they came out. If it was a movie where I thought expectations were going to be too high and it was too hyped, I'll be like, I'll go see it on like the third weekend. Mm-hmm. But a mixture of having to see things more timely now for work, and also just Twitter. Like, if you don't see it, like, forget it. Just you don't go on Twitter. You're going to be spoiled. I've just had to kind of learn to temper it myself and be like, it's okay, like, just, and try to like ignore all of the kind of
the noise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I do worry about that a little bit, because you always want to caveat this with like, this is still a Marvel superhero movie, and it's got like those elements. But I will say it's one of the most unique and distinct of the Marvel superhero movies. It really does what it set out to do, stands on its own. And it feels like there was so much creative liberty given with this. So that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you guys can answer this question, but do you feel like there was any area, whether it's a performance or a part of the story, and don't say which part, of course, that it was lacking?
I think sometimes when it got very Marvel-y.
And again, I want to like be a little careful that we're not heading too much into like a full review, but I would echo that. Okay. But it was sparse, very, very rare that happened. Cool. But I would agree with that. This is what Ava DuVernay said. And can you imagine this experience just creatively?
Okay,
I'm going to paint a picture.
Say that part, though.
She didn't say that. She didn't say
still
this is
on
me
Roth.
thinking like, how cool would this be? We edited our films across the hall from each other for 8 months. We talked about in our edit bays, on walks around the lot, about our films, our dreams tonight. His comes true. On my way to the Black Panther premiere with a full heart for my family and director extraordinaire Ryan Coogler. I mean, just like, picture them editing. She's editing A Wrinkle in Time as he's editing Black Panther. Like, just the idea of them being like, want to take a break? Let's take a walk. And that's the conversation that you're having. Mm-hmm. And like how much that's fueling your own creativity.
Do you think she'd seen it?
Probably. Yeah. She probably saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm curious. Do you think this is a good cut? Hey, Ava, will you come over here to this side of the hall?
Why
Yeah.
not?
Look at this car chase.
If you
Yeah,
have,
I would.
If you have for him and her, right? Like if you have such an excellent filmmaker right across the hall, who's clearly your friend that you're taking walks with, why wouldn't you have pick their brain on things and moments that you're
100%.
struggling with? I mean, but like, I'm not gonna say I'm jealous. I'm super jealous.
Yeah,
Like,
of both
that sounds
of them. I don't know which one I'm more
amazing.
jealous of. Yeah. So cool.
So, Devin, that brings us to a fan question we weren't able to get to in the previous days. Devin asked, representation matters a lot on screen. And I was wondering, do you guys think A Wrinkle in Time is just as important as Black Panther? Thoughts?
I do. I think it's a beloved story. It's got an amazing cast. I am super pumped for it. The thing that I worry about with A Wrinkle in Time is that it's going to be one of those instances where it's like, oh, well, it's just a little girl movie. You know, like in that way that sometimes things, when it appears to be that they are geared towards women or towards young women, they are taken less seriously at times. So that is my worry. But I think that, I mean, I think that's going to be dispelled pretty easily. And it's also like, you know, a lot of the chatter has been Black Panther, Black Panther, Black Panther. And I think that once that starts to die down, we'll start to hear more Wrinkle in Time, Wrinkle in Time, Wrinkle in Time.
I mean, it's not a Marvel movie, so it just doesn't have that inherent, fan fervor, you know? I think it looks amazing.
Well, there's like a little bit of nostalgia where it's like, but not like a driving force to get me to the theater. Like when I saw they were doing a new Wrinkle in Time, I was like, I read that for school. You know, but not like, finally! I'm assuming and hoping there are people that are like, yes, my Wrinkle in Time vision finally on screen. But I do agree with you that I think there's a hump to get over, culture-wise and marketing-wise. You know, there's a reason why Hunger Games wasn't marketed as badass archer lady takes on all comers. It was marketed as
Kids killing kids.
No, it was marketed more as like, oh my God, PETA, I love you. Who am I gonna love? Like it was, you know, because.
Not PETA.
Not PETA. Because like marketing young archer girl to boys, I think traditional marketing companies and stuff like that would just kind of go, nah. So I think that there is a hump to get over where, you know, you don't have just like a precocious, like 11-year-old white kid in the lead to be like, here, it's a boy movie. It's a boy movie. I don't think I'm getting too social justice-y. There's a reason why I was sold G.I. Joes and Transformers my entire adult life, and no one ever tried to bother to be like, hey, would you also like Pound Puppy? You know, or stuff like that.
Polly Pocket.
Or some Polly Pocket. No, I was sold Mighty Max because I am a boy.
Yeah.
And so I think there is a hump to sort of get over.
Right.
That sometimes we don't even think about when we're like, we need more representation on screen. It's like we also have to start untraining people on what they've been, you know, raised on. That Ninja Turtles is me and not you.
Right. Which is like, as someone who grew up everything Gem, Ninja Turtles, and then that's another thing where it's like, it's the same conversation we have about like diversity oftentimes, where it's like, you know, if you're in a more marginalized group, sometimes that means that like the things that are for boys or for girls or for this group or that group is like, well, I like everything because like that's what we have and that's what's for us. And so I like that we're getting to a point now where it's no longer like everything's are in these boxes and we can start being like everything's for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
Your kid, your boy wants to play with Polly Pocket, let him play with Polly Pocket or whatever. And I think that we're getting like better at those kind of things. But when it comes to where people want to put their money and how they want to guarantee they make their money back, that's where you're going to start to see some of that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Roxy?
Devin, I think this is an interesting question because at first I thought it was a silly question. So those are usually the best ones because I was like, what do you mean important? And I don't know if I'm the right person to ask because I tweeted a little while ago saying that to me Wonder Woman is one of the 5 most important films of the decade. And everybody was like, that's so stupid, you idiot.
Looks like someone didn't see a film called Logan.
Yeah, right. Legit. That's so stupid. It's a superhero. How could you? So I think it all depends on where you are in your life, how old you are, what you need to watch, what you're looking up to, like what message you need to be sent. I really needed like a strong female warrior message in that moment. It was really important to me in my life. Did it have the same effect necessarily on somebody across the world who's half my age who already feels like a warrior? Maybe not. And would A Wrinkle in Time have the same effect on me as Black Panther, depending on where I am in my life? Possibly not, but that doesn't mean it's not as important to somebody who is a little black girl living somewhere who's like, that's literally me right now. I could do this. Like, it's hard to say. So I think that there is validity to this question. I don't know the answer.
Yeah. I mean, I think that your point is a really well taken point, that one of the things that's super broken about how we do things is how we do toys.
Still very traditional.
Very traditional. It's separated in the stores by male and female. They're separated in departments.
Didn't Target like 5 years ago score a big public victory online because they were like, no more, and then that never happened?
Then
like,
that never
I'm not crazy,
really.
right?
No, you're not crazy, because
Okay.
I've been in a Target and I've looked for it, and maybe they're at some of the stores, but in a lot of the stores, they're still very much gender separated. And in the toy manufacturers and their marketing departments, the whole thing, I know some people who work in that field, and it's completely separated: boy toys, girl toys, and the impact that
They
that
Mike
does.
Pence their toys.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had
to.
to.
To some degree, there may be, I don't know, it's hard to say like chicken or the egg, right? But like, the point is that the impact that that does have creatively will be like, for example, in an X-Men cartoon or in a cartoon that features superheroes, they may decide to include or disclude certain characters based on what they believe will sell in terms of toys.
That's what was happening with Cyborg.
Right.
They were saying that Cyborg wasn't selling as much, so that they were going to not sell Cyborg as much, which is like, that is the exact problem. If you stop offering Cyborg, then nobody can buy Cyborg.
Yeah.
So like,
And it's interesting. Just thinking more like what you said with, is this important to me now? Like, what's my context? And I have found my first reaction to Wrinkle in Time was, I am very excited that my friends' kids and like all my nieces and nephews get to go see this movie. Like, I will do my best to like make sure that they see it. It's cool for me as like a nerd and like a pop culture consumer to be like, yeah, Oprah and these ladies as like crazy time witches. I don't remember Wrinkle in Time that well. Don't yell at me in the comments.
no, I think you nailed it.
But I'm equally excited to see like my friends' kids to like kind of hit the ground running, and hopefully for them when they get older, like we won't have to worry about it. It's just like, oh, cool, people on screen.
Yeah, if I was a little kid, I would be going bonkers for this movie, because it's like a big, lush, epic, fantasy, sci-fi. It's right up my alley. As an adult, I'm extremely excited for it because I'm such a fan of her work. That is the truth. Every single piece of creative work that Ava DuVernay has touched is fantastic.
Even not creative work, just like when she speaks.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
like the words.
Yeah, but but I never want to lose the fact that she is an excellent fucking filmmaker.
Yeah,
she just
100%.
is.
To me,
Like,
to me, and maybe I shouldn't take it for granted, that's just such a given.
Yeah.
I know that it has to be said because there are people out there that don't, for some reason or another, want to give credit where credit is due. But like, that is such a given. I just also respect her as a human.
Yeah.
Like her heart and her soul, I guess.
I do too. I retweet her like 10 times a day. But the point is, my point with that is like, I was really, really, really excited for Black Panther because the cast that they had amassed, and because I really believed in Ryan Coogler as a filmmaker. Like, everything he had done was something that was a beautiful, extremely well-directed. Creed, I thought, like, was... I mean, I was blown away by the direction of that movie. It was so
JTE
much better
was waiting for that mention.
than anything I thought it could be or should be. And so I was excited for Black Panther for that reason. I'm excited for A Wrinkle in Time for the same reason. This is an excellent filmmaker. What do you...
Well,
Did you read that book?
Yeah, I read that book.
Read that book. I did not
I
read
didn't
that
either.
book.
Maybe of a certain age. Yeah, no, I
think
had to read
it was assigned to me.
I
but
did
didn't
not read that
it.
book.
Girls.
Yeah.
Then you did not get your personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut for bucket. That's on you.
I don't know what just happened.
Oh, your sticker.
Oh, in the South, they taught us to read by bribing us with pizza.
That's a real thing?
Same
Yes.
with Indiana.
Wait,
Same?
what is
Okay, cool.
what is
Awesome. Yeah.
what is book it?
Oh
Next
We'll
show.
get it, yeah.
Next show.
Do you know what's happening?
Book It was
Okay,
amazing.
East Coast love. No idea.
No
Pink
clue.
ladies.
They just make us read because that's the gig and school and, and stuff.
You really got free pizza?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
we
man.
got pizza.
Yeah. That's why I'm such a dork.
Wow.
They were like,
I feel like there's something inherently wrong with that.
I was like, I feel like I'll get beat up if I like Bridge to Terabithia. And they were like, would you like a pepperoni pizza? And I was like, bring on the punching!
I feel like not this, but I feel like there is some weird level of, I don't know, a lot of, not you really, so, but, or you, but there's a lot of folks that I meet in LA where it's like this weird thing about working where they want work to be these things that are not work. Like they want work to be their parent and like award them for doing the thing that they're already
Yes.
getting paid to do.
You mean
and
your participation trophy?
Yeah, and maybe that comes from getting pizza for reading because in New York, not because it's not either of you.
I'm totally
But I'm
with you.
trying to trace it here because it's not either of you. I really mean that. But there's a lot of people like that, and I'm like, New York is like, what the? Get a job,
Yeah.
read your book.
I mean,
You're
at
in
the
school.
very best, we got a sticker, maybe.
I
Like
got
a
a sticker.
star.
I mean, I'm just saying,
If you did a good report.
they do give us free pizza to make us go to our weekly meeting.
Yeah.
Just saying. Otherwise, I might not go.
This is baffling to me. You just like
I'll
rocked
give you
my
that.
entire world.
I'm gonna give you that.
The actual pizza stores?
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. You would go
Back in
and
the
you would
day
say,
when it was
I
a
read
sit-down
book.
restaurant with those red glass.
I know Billy
yeah.
wants us to move on, but you would go in and you say, "This is my book. Give me free food at the Pizza Hut."
Yeah, it's like you read 4 books.
And you
then,
would give you'd have like a sticker thing, and you'd be like, "Here's my thing." And
I mean,
they would
I
give you a
applaud
stuff.
it.
How are they making money?
They're
weren't,
doing
man.
it's
They
an
just
act
they
of
were investing
good.
in my education.
That's why they no longer have sit down restaurants.
Why don't
What the
educate?
actual-
Educate. That's the thing. Like education, I actually applaud it because I'm a believer in education. But education should be its own reward. Everyone.
I think the idea is that the parents go in with the kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, when both, and I mean, me and my sister were readers anyway. So, but like, you know, when both of us had done our little things, we go up and you get our tiny little baby pizzas, and my mom gets her beer, and everyone's happy.
Yeah. You know who didn't?
I was
You had
smart.
beer at Pizza Hut?
You know who didn't give a shit if I knew how to read? Papa John.
Why were you getting a beer when you didn't know how to read yet?
I didn't get
Rob,
beer.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
All right,
Why didn't I grow up there?
We're off on too much of a tangent, and I really do. I own that, and I take full responsibility for it. However, I
feel
do
like
think
I
that this
take
was
responsibility
interesting.
for it. I'm so sorry, but I'm
I think
not.
I think it's very interesting. I applaud the Pizza Hut
you,
wanted
Pizza
to
Hut.
encourage education, but I also do think that there's something, and Roxy, correct me if I'm wrong, there are a lot of people that are like, my job should also tuck me in at night. And I'm like, guess what? It pays your rent. It's tucking you in just fine. I don't know where this came from.
Roth, my big takeaway.
Slay, Rob,
My big
slay.
takeaway, wrinkle in time. Sometimes I think we forget that most of these movies and properties aren't really aimed at this industry that we've created. They're aimed at kids. So even if Wrinkle of Time isn't your visual or story cup of tea,
All right.
motherfucker, I named you. Don't fucking put up a graphic when I'm fucking talking. I'm done. I'm done.
Hopper from Stranger Things?
Yes.
My final takeaway that I want from you guys, and we are back on target, is that a lot of people were saying with Infinity War that was the end of the Marvel era. Like, that's it. You can't do any better. You're just repeating yourself. My contention is that now that I've seen Black Panther, I don't know. I think there's room left for them to do things that surprise us, that are interesting, that stand on their own, that add new aspects to what a comic book movie can be. What do you think?
No, I completely agree. In that, if what you want are more kind of the first Avengers, if like that's the kind of movie you want, I don't think we are going to get a lot of that once kind of this phase has finished and we move on to whatever the next phase is going to be. I think we're going to see a lot more Thor Ragnaroks. I think we're going to see a lot more Black Panthers, and I think that is a really good thing. It's not just going to be a bunch of dudes in tights all running at each other.
Final thoughts, Miss Roxy Striar.
Get rid of Cap, get rid of Iron Man, get rid of Thor. Keep Spidey, keep Black Panther, keep Ant-Man, keep Deadpool, keep Wasp. Keep a lot of these players and get in some new blood. I think that there's a happy medium here. I don't think we need to just do a hard reboot, but some of these stories I do feel like have been played out. I'm a big Iron Man and a big Cap fan, but I don't need to see more of their story. Find a younger version to have them train, bring in, or something, because I saw it. I saw their stories, and now I'm excited for Infinity War, but like, I think there's a happy medium. We don't have to get rid of some of these other characters that need to be more fleshed out.
Right.
But we can. I'm gonna get so much hate for the comments for these ones.
For what?
Yeah, we could just take.
Just because
we could
anytime you
take more
say get rid
chances.
of Cap, people are like, get rid of Cap.
You know what? It's not healthy for us to discuss what's going to happen in comments because my brain
Oh my
already
God.
goes to the 10 things that I
Roth had to
said
go
that
to
I'm going to
bat for
get
me.
attacked for, and I will.
This week, Roth had to go to bat for me too hard, like too time consuming for her. It was so sad. Don't make Roth do that, guys. Don't make her do it.
That was one tweet. That was just one tweet.
It was relentless, tweeter.
He did not stop.
I didn't mean to say Twitter. He was.
What is that?
It's a threat.
It's a wrinkle. It's a wrinkle in time.
You know what? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being amazing. It is the rare few that are not nice. I already know the dumb things that I've said. You don't have to tell me, but you will anyway. And the rest of you, thank you for watching and enjoying what we did. Joe Starr, you're amazing.
Thanks.
You didn't get to respond to the question.
No, Billy wants to wrap up the show.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Nope.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. There's so many things for you to watch this week. The Honest trailer is up and available. There's Honest trailer commentaries available for you. We have some special features that are going to come out this weekend that I will tease later in the week. Anything you want the people to watch?
Go watch Transformers on his trailer. Have fun.
Have fun.
Transform yourself into it.